Hey there, folks. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to go full-time trading in 2025. Now, of course, what I'm going to tell you in this video can be used at other times. It's just 2025 because that's at the time that I'm making this video. We're about to enter a new year here. So I'm going to give you a checklist to go off of so you can make that dream of full-time trading a reality. So most of you know my story. That was my dream. When I got into this, started trading in 2014. My ultimate goal was to be able to support myself with trading, be able to trade full time, having that freedom. There's nothing like it in this. There's just nothing like full-time trading. Okay. A lot of people, they will advise against it. You've seen it online. People say, full-time trading ain't what it cracked up to be. You know, it's stressful, right? I know you've probably seen that. People discourage you. Forget that crap. All right. Forget that crap. I see folks say, keep your job and, continue to trade and just stay like that. But that defeats, if you're like me, it's like that defeats the purpose of why I got in this. I understand not everybody in here wants to be a full-time trader. Of course, most people watching this do, but you got one life. You got one life. You ain't getting out alive. So why play it safe? That's my mentality. Okay. Forget the doubters telling you it's too stressful. They're talking about themselves. They're not talking about you. All right. They say that, but they're projecting that they don't have the stress tolerance to make this happen. You watching this, you very well may have that stress tolerance. And then a lot of it comes down to just what I'm going to tell you in this video as well, and get you ready to make that leap, to be a full-time trader, to make that dream a reality. I know what it's, I know a lot of you just desperately went out of your situations, and a lot of you are going to have to exercise some patience. All right. I know I said in 2025 here, is it possible to make that a reality? 100% it's possible to become a full-time trader by the end of 2025. Okay. But you're going to have to exercise some patience. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen for you if you don't. I've been in a bad situation too. All right. Before I went full-time in 2020, I was working a job that I absolutely hated. Was working night shift, 12-hour shifts, night in, not just completely hating my life. Just completely hated it with every fiber of my being. And I knew there had to be more life than this. I knew that can't be the rest of my life. So full-time trading, that was my focus. That was the only thing on my mind. That was my ultimate goal. So I'm going to help you. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to tell you how you can make this happen for yourself. All right. Before we get too deep into the video, I got to give a reminder. It's about that time, folks. A lot of you, I know you've been waiting on it. It's about that time. The 1% Club, the mentorship chat, is opening here at the very beginning of January. Yes, we still have some spots left. Last I checked, I think we have like either 17 or 18 spots left for the mentorship. So if you want in there, this is going to be, your last chance. This is going to be your last chance to be able to get in there, to be able to partake. Or that's with January. I'm not saying there won't be new spots that are opened up later, because when people drop out and they quit and don't see it through, then that opens up a spot for somebody else later on to get in. But I'm saying, like, for January, if you want to get in January, this is going to be your last chance. All right. Don't put yourself on the wait list unless you're 100% certain that you want to partake and that you want to see this through. If you have any doubt whatsoever, even just the slightest doubt, then do not join, because then you're not going to really throw yourself into giving your all into this. You're not going to really dedicate yourself. So I need you to be 100% certain that that's what you want if you are going to join. There will be a link in the video description to the wait list on the WAP website. All the details are on that site, so you can just check out all that on there. Okay. Back to the video here. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how you're going to make that happen in 2025, right? Number one, you need an edge. A lot of people, they think they have an edge. You don't have an edge. Most people in the trading industry don't. I've said it before. One of the biggest lies in the trading industry is everything works. Everything's an edge. It just comes down to risk management and psychology, and it's a whole lot of BS. Not everything's an edge. Most stuff you see online is complete garbage, peddled by marketers with no real experience, no real results. They just know how to sell a dream. That's the reality of most stuff on YouTube. The biggest YouTubers in the trading industry are garbage, right? They're too focused on showing the flashy Lambos and all that crap. And it's all marketing, folks. It's all marketing. Most stuff on YouTube, social media in general is just marketing. It's crap. An edge is not really that easy to find. A really good edge is very, very difficult to find. It's not out there. Not everything is an edge, folks. I'm telling you. So that's number one. Then the next question is, how do you find an edge? You know what I'm going to recommend. This isn't a sales pitch. You can learn this for 100% for free. 100% for free. I'm not selling you anything when I say this. Okay? Candle confirmation. The proof is in the pudding. Like, don't even just take my word for it. Just look for the countless people that you see, students of mine, banking with it, getting funded with it, getting capital, consistent P&Ls, just racking it up, and go test it for yourself. I have I'm going to link in the video description a link to my entire playlist on candle confirmation. I want you to watch that entire playlist, and I want you to get in the Discord chat, my free Discord chat. Again, there will be a link in the video description for that. And I want you to follow along with me daily. Okay? If you really throw yourself into learning this, really dedicate yourself, you won't need anything else. I promise you that. This right here can be in game for you. This can make you, this edge that I'm giving you, candle confirmation, can make you a full-time trader. Yes, there's other things that plays into it, which I'm going to go into. But you need an edge. You need a solid strategy, folks. Without it, it's not going to happen. I don't care how good your psychology is. I don't care how impeccable your risk management is. You will fail without an edge. You need a proper edge. And I'm giving it to you on a platter. Okay? Simple rules. So simple it could fit on the back of a business card. It's just that simple, that straightforward. Okay? So watch that playlist and get in the free Discord. Link down below in the description. So here's the thing. Once you have your edge, you've done the back testing, you know what you're looking for here, etc. When it comes down to, you need to have at least 1 year of expenses saved. Okay? Now, I know this might be a lot for some of you. All right? And some of you are already overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, a year, Mike. I can't stress how important this is. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and act like you can do it on like a, with nothing in the banks, saved right here, nothing in the bank saved, no type of net, right? This is so important because the worst place that you can trade from is from a place of neediness, a place of need. The rent's right around the corner, and I don't got nothing in there to pay it. So I got to make money. I got to go into the market. You're going to fail miserably. If that sounds blunt, sorry, but that's just how it is. I'm telling you. You are going to fail miserably if you are trading from that mindset. That is why you need those savings when you're starting off here. You need those savings to cover your bills. Okay? Because you got to think, folks, like you're going to have slow times. You may have a draw. The exact moment you decide to go full time, you might be hit with a drawdown month. That's outside of your control. You can't force the market to do something that it doesn't want to do. The market's going to do what it wants to do. And if your strategy is slow, which all strategies have slow periods, and then you're hit with that slow month and you don't got no savings to tap into, you're in trouble. Yeah, you could pull money out of your account, right? But no, have savings. Have at least a year of savings before you make that leap. So you can have that peace of mind, so you can be patient, so you can wait for your setup, so you can withstand those drawdowns, those slow periods, and still come out on top. Okay? So whatever your expenses are, 1 year saved, put away. Okay? Very important. Very, very, very. I can't stress the importance of that enough. Experience. In past videos that I've made on full-time trading, I've recommended, and this is where, I know some people or a few people are like, Mike, in the past, though, haven't you recommended like a couple years experience before doing it? I have. But do I think that it's possible to make it happen sooner? I do. The more experience, the better, folks. That's just, of course, the more experience that you have under your belt, the better off you will be. The more different market environments that you experience, the more comfortable you're going to be. The more you experience drawdown, the more you experience the hot, the slow, and you come out the other side on top, the more comfortable you're going to be. Okay? This is also where I'm going to help a lot of the folks in the 1% club this year, is you have me to lean on for this. Okay? Think of me like you're training wheels. I'm training wheels for you. You don't have that experience, all the experience. You need to be comfortable with the strategy. You need to know what you're doing, but you are going to get a lot of value out of having me there to assist you, to kind of give you that reminder, to kind of have that person to lean on whenever it's slow, maybe whenever steer you in the right direction, hold you accountable. And that's where I'm going to step in and I'm going to help you, make that happen. All right. So, but with experience, you need to experience the slow, you need to experience hot streaks, a wide variety. So you're not caught by surprise. Okay. Because the thing about full-time trading is like you are going to, I'm not going to lie to you and say it isn't going to up the difficulty. It is. It's going to up the difficulty. Like I said, because now you're feeding yourself through trading. And that does put pressure. Again, like I'm telling you all this stuff, like the savings and all this stuff, the savings, the experience, having guidance, etc. All that stuff is it's gonna help alleviate a lot of that. It's still gonna be there. You're still taking it to that next level because full-time trading is just a completely different level. But it's very important. Okay, very important that you understand different market cycles. A big enough account size, right? Are you gonna make a living with a $10 account? Are you going to make a living with a $50 account? Some folks think they can do it, right? You're not. Call me, a negative Nelly, whatever you want to call me. It ain't going to happen, folks. You got to have some capital. So like, how much do you need? So here's the thing, folks. This is going to be different based on some people. If you want to live the life of having 17 Lambos and having a mansion out in the hills and, popping bottles and models every single night, well, your lifestyle, how big of an account you're going to need is going to be different than somebody who's living a humble life, who doesn't need all that stuff, who just wants to cover their bills, maybe put a little bit in the savings and just live a comfortable life. Those two completely different lifestyles. Also, the person that's living in, say, New York City versus the person who's living in Nigeria, they're going to have completely different account sizes that they need as well. So here's the thing. Calculate your monthly expenses. Whatever that is, it's going to be different for everybody. Calculate your monthly expenses. And whatever your monthly, and then also, once you have the monthly expenses calculated, look at your average gain per month. So over the course of several months, and then look at your back test and your data as well. Look at what your average gain comes out to in a month. Your average across the board, not the biggest month, not the smallest month, the average. And the average gain needs to be able to take care of easily your monthly expenses. That's how big of an account you need. Because, of course, you want some, of course, I'm sure you're going to want some to put aside into savings, etc. Put some aside, in other investments. And so whatever that is. So like, say, for example, you need 3,000 USD monthly to live comfortably. And say, and say 3% is your average gain per month. So 100K. See what I mean? 100,000, 3% of 100,000, 3,000. And that would cover your bills. Now, of course, as I said, it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more. But it's going to be different. Some folks, their average gain might be 6% a month, 7% a month. Some folks might be 2% a month. That's how you calculate it, because we all have different expenses. Okay? And then the next question would be, okay, but what if I lack capital, Mike? This is all fine and dandy, but I don't have the money for that. Well, folks, I've recommended this. This is where funding companies comes into play. I know it's a little bit more flimsy of an industry than it used to be, right? And a lot of people don't have as much of a positive outlook on the industry, which is very understandable, because a lot of the firms have turned out to be crap or scams or just complete garbage, right? And that's why I recommended, like, stay away from like the influencer-based firms that are ran by influencers. And I really don't even want to shout out a firm in this video, but I'm going to. But here's what you got to understand that, one, I'm not affiliated, and you're responsible for your decisions. Okay, I'm not telling you to use a specific firm. Okay, but if I had to recommend a firm to use, this is with Forex. I'll talk about futures. I would go with FDMO. The only reason I say FDMO, because as they go down, the industry's gone. It's done. Basically, it's finished. Like, they're the biggest players in the industry. They've been around the longest. They're the most reputable, have a history of paying out, etc. That's who I would personally stick. If you are a Forex trader and you're able to, that's who I would go with. Now, I know my U.S. citizens, right? Because I'm a U.S. citizen too. Are like, oh, well, I'm screwed. Not exactly. I'm gonna tell you why. here in a second. But if you have that option, I would acquire capital with them. Okay. So save what you can. If you lack money, save up with what you can. And then you can build capital there. And then all those profits should be funneled into your personal account. And then you just compound those profits, buy more capital, continue to compound. With candle confirmation, I'm telling you, it can compound very quickly. You've seen it. You've seen the months that I've had. I do this stuff real time. No hindsight, all plugged in my free Discord beforehand. And then you also see my students' results. Like when you get a hot month with a candle confirmation, which I've had back-to-back hot months. I mean, you see my pulling in over 200K in a month, just shy of 300K in a month. And I'm doing this real time. I'm showing you these setups real time and how it's playing out. And you think, if you really figured this out and you really get this down, what that can do for you and how quick you can really compound, how quick you can really rack up this capital with these firms, and then how quick that's going to compound in your personal account as well. It can happen a lot quicker than you think. I know some of you are watching this with not a lot of money. I promise you, compounding is a magical thing. It's a very magical thing. And that account can grow quick. Okay? But you got to lock in and you got to stay focused. All right? That's what I recommend. Futures traders, here's my advice, folks. Stick with the most reputable firms that have been around the longest. I have recommended some futures firms in the past. If you just scroll through my Twitter or my X, you'll probably see it, some posts on it. Go with the most reputable firms. This is a good way to do it. Of course, do your research. Go with the firms that have been around the longest, that have a history of paying out with little issues, okay? Little complaints. There's always going to be some complaints from losers that just, don't want to take responsibility for their mess ups. I'm talking about overall, they have a good reputation. They've been around a long time. Just use your head. Just use your head, folks, okay? And then just, make that leap with those firms. Futures, you got a little bit more options than you do with Forex in that regard, but that's how you do it. And so for my US folks, with US, you have a little bit, you're limited in your options when it comes to funding. Futures, you're not limited with futures, but with Forex you are. But here's the thing to look into is currency futures. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with the currency futures, but it's something that you can look into. The currency futures is something that you can look into. But here's the thing, you really don't even need it. You don't even need funding companies. I'm giving you that option, but that's more for the folks, the folks that have a few $100s and they don't really got nothing to work with at all or very little to work with at all. But even if you have just a couple thousand, a few thousand, because I started with 2,000 and look where I am now. And I'm not saying it's going to take you that long because I started trading in 2014. I was full-time by 2020, a millionaire by 2021. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long. Okay, you can make it happen quicker, especially with the proper guidance. But even with just a couple thousand, few thousand with candle confirmation, again, I'm not saying you got to use candle confirmation. It's just a lot of you don't have an edge, or a lot of you are looking for an edge, and I'm giving you that framework. Literally, I'm giving you something on a platter. If you already have an edge and you're watching this video, cool, fine, that's great. All this still applies. But once you understand that model, few thousand, folks, you can really accelerate that growth quick. Okay, because you're getting several setups on a consistent basis, day in, day out, with good follow through. Not every single day, but most days. You're going to really start to accelerate that capital. You're going to really start to compounding. You're going to see how magical that snowball effect is with compounding. You're going to really start to see it. So I don't want you to be discouraged if you lack options in regards to funding. You don't even need it. And I'm proof of that. You don't need it. Okay. If you have that option, then yes, use it if you have that option. But if you don't, do not let that discourage you. Even if you have just a couple thousand, which is more than, I understand it's more than even a lot of people have. It's a couple thousand, few thousand is more than a lot of people have that are watching this video right now. You can do a lot with that. And you can work with that. Okay. And that goal that you have of full-time trading, it can happen a lot quicker than you think. I promise you, folks. I promise you. The process to getting there is pretty simple, right? But it's gonna take a lot of discipline. How quick you get there, how quick you achieve that goal of full-time trading. You speed it up by having guidance, but also how quick you get fed up with yourself is really the biggest thing that's going to speed it up. Meaning how quick you can start to be disciplined, how quick you can get over those little silly, little rinky-dink habits, bad habits that you have that you continue to partake in. How quick you can get over that, that's going to decide how quick you make this happen. You watching this, you can 100% be a full-time trader by the end of 2025. The only question is, how serious are you?